The opposite to communism is not capitalism. I disavowed this claim. I said that in the Uncommunist Manifesto. I believe the opposite to communism is beauty. Fundamentally, beauty. Beauty is the highest of all things. Beauty is God. Beauty is nature. Beauty is that which is fit, that which fits, that which is perfect, etc. It is the thing that we're always aiming at. That is the thing that life reaches for. And when you look at these ideals, like communism, like majoritarianism of any kind, equalitarianism of any kind, they all seek to destroy beauty, to bring down to their level. And what you have with fiat money is an engine that basically steals from the blind, and the blind are too stupid to understand who's stealing from them. And then it creates an opportunity to blame the actual productive class, the aristocratic class, the functional class, who I would have called in the past the remnant, right? That group of people, and it's their fault. They're the ones who should be blamed. Like I saw a thread yesterday. I opened up my fucking Instagram for some strange reason, and there was a thread in there, and it was this lady saying, I'm not saying we should bring out the pitchforks just yet, but Jeff Bezos is, building clocks in the whatever, and here we are, not enough food. It's like, it's literally like she's being stolen from by the parasitic class, and she's blaming the productive class. It's the same fucking game. And this is what I mean when I said at the outset, it's the trader archetype trying to bring down the greatness, the excellence archetype, trying to bring down the Musks and the Bezoses and all of that of the world. So I'll shut up there for a moment. I think that nuance is very important. It's not about, it's not about saving the masses because the masses are too hard to fucking save. It is about building a better fucking game so that the best can get better. And then they naturally fucking raise the tide. And it gets better for all the fucking dumbasses who don't know how to make it better anyway.
No, I appreciate the clarification because I should have been more precise with my language, because I will agree with you that it's not like the simple act of changing the rules automatically gives everyone the ability to raise themselves up. What it does do is create a game with fair rules, with rules that are known by all participants, should they choose to learn them, but they are at least knowable. The rules are knowable. And for those that have the desire and the vitality, the energy to pull themselves up, to rise to the top, it enables that to happen in greater numbers and more rapidly than it does in a system that is predicated on theft. So I agree with the clarification there. And I saw that fucking thread the other day. I think somebody posted a screenshot on Twitter, and Bezos built like a large like clock on a mountain somewhere, and that she was really pissed about it. But it's absurd because you complain about, Bezos spending whatever, $40 million of his own money for providing you. By the way, he earned that by providing Amazon, which guarantee you use to order the laptop that you're tweeting off of. You used to order half the fucking things in your house. He created an insanely valuable business and genuinely useful business that brings us a level of convenience we couldn't even have dreamed about before. And you're mad at him spending however many million to create something that he finds beautiful, and likely others do too. I haven't seen it. I'll have to look up what the pictures. I'm sure it's probably pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
But you're mad at him, a productive person, massively productive, instead of being mad at the fucking governments shoveling hundreds of billions of dollars overseas through various, shell NGOs and then right back to the military industrial complex. Meanwhile, they're still, stealing from you every fucking year more and more by devaluing your money. But no. You're mad at the guy who has actually made your life better in a decade than the government has in 100, 200 years. Like, it's absurd. And it's a lack of any sort of like grounding in reality, I think, where you truly do not have the ability. And I feel sad for people like this, but you know what? It's somewhat, well, I believe in personal responsibility. So I think If you are too fucking lazy to go out and find the answer for yourself and to dig a little bit deeper, that's on you. Yeah. Granted, it's difficult today because we are so inundated with information. There is so much fucking noise out there that it's difficult for most people to sift through that. But to just be a person who operates with all of their, quote, thoughts and opinions simply being party slogans, because that's all they are. You're not saying anything that hasn't been already given to you, fed to you on a silver platter by the party, and I use the party in a generalist sense. And it's sad to see. That kind of person is never going to lift themselves up, no matter what the rules of the game are. In fact, they may not like the system that is to come because it is more radically transparent.
Yes.
And it is more merit-based. And you can't just complain your way to relevance and have somebody give you a fucking cookie and an award. Exactly. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, this honestly, what you just said there is my crusade for next year is, and it's like there's a whole section dedicated to it in the Bushido of Bitcoin, is my crusade to sort of make it clear that you know, Bitcoin's going to do more damage, quote unquote, to you know, people's psyche and all that sort of stuff in the short to medium term than it is, you know, than what people think. Like people think it's just going to magically fucking fix everything. No. There's going to be exacerbated inequalities. There's going to be all of this, like the you know, and I believe it's in the Fire Bitcoin Teleportation when I talk about the interregnum, right? Like sort of before Bitcoin, after Bitcoin, and sort of that, you know, the time when those two periods clash is going to be where neither rule book fits. And like it's going to be fucking chaos for the next couple generations. But if we can kind of cold turkey our way through it, and I mean, the analogy is so perfect. It's, you know, you get somebody who's a heroin junkie. I mean, getting off the fucking heroin is hell. But they like, if they relapse, they're just going to remain a heroin junkie. So you actually have to go through hell and come out the other end. And that is like exactly what civilization has to go through. And we're seeing the early signs of this shit, man. I mean, like, you know, Millet is obviously an incredible example of, you know, that kind of energy sprouting up. You know, you're seeing it in Amsterdam. I mean, you know, if McGregor's taking seriously the you know, to take over fucking Ireland, make him king, fuck yes. Like, you know, Musk is doing his job with Twitter. It's like there's you know, there's a palpable shift in the energy that is coming out of this stuff. And anyway, it's like it's a very interesting timeline to be a part of. But you know, one thing we can't sort of take for granted is that it's going to be messy, and the parasite's capacity to inflame and infuriate the masses is where the greatest danger is going to come from. Because a couple parasites, you know, like, you know, Rothschild with his little fucking golden cane isn't gonna, you know, come and pick up a gun and shoot us, right? But it's like the fucking hordes of Luddites. They're the ones who are gonna blame the Bitcoiners for the rain and the sunshine and the fact that they can't drive cars anymore and, you know, gasoline's too expensive and everything like that. Like, I can't fucking eat. It's the Bitcoiners' fault. It's your fucking fault. And that's what we've got to prep ourselves for.
And honestly, it's I think that's a very real concern that maybe, because you're right, things don't just change like that. We don't just go from the entrenched system to something new and on the road to beautiful overnight. It's going to be a long and painful journey, likely with many, many state, you know, currency collapses that lead to nation state collapses, and a massive shift of power in an already growing multipolar world. And I think that it's very easy and very tempting as a Bitcoiner to look and say, yes, one day everyone's going to wake up and realize we Bitcoiners were right and we're such geniuses, and they're going to pat us on the back for it and give us a good old boy. And then they'll, you know, everything will be fine and there won't be any hard feelings and, you know, la-di-da. But it's just not the case. Humans have a massive propensity for jealousy, and that is easy to inflame if you know the right buttons to push. And we see this all the time. I mean, and that's really what Marx and Engels tried to do with the Communist Manifesto.